All right, so we left off here where we were talking about the electrical sources and the electrical sources blocks, that is. So we're also going to talk about some of the mechanical blocks that you can find over here. And again, of course, you not only have electrical and mechanical, you have also all these other domains. So gas, hydraulic, isothermal, magnetic, many different domains that you can use Simulink for. Now I do want to talk about some of the mechanical blocks as well. So just like the electrical, for example, you're going to have sensors, sources, and then some elements as well. So if you go under here on the mechanical sensors, you're going to see a force sensor, a rotational motion sensor, a torque sensor, and a translational motion sensor. So the four basic sensors for mechanical phenomena. Now, same thing as the electrical sources, you also have mechanical sources. And again, you're going to find here angular velocity, force source, torque source, translational velocity source. So the basic mechanical sources. You're also going to have some mechanisms. So you're going to have a gearbox, a lever, a slider crank, and a wheel and axle. And then, of course, you also have rotational elements and translational elements. So the concept is very similar to electrical. Again, all the domains are going to have their own sources, sensors, and elements. And again, if you're not sure what a block exactly does, like for example, if we weren't sure what this mechanical rotational reference, or actually let's look at this one. So if you weren't sure what the rotational damper exactly does and what the two ports are, again, you can right click on it, go to help for the rotational damper block. And again, that's going to bring up the documentation for that specific block. And it gives you some equations, a description of what the block does, some explanation of what the parameters do. And again, from here, you can tell if this block does what you're looking for. And if it doesn't, you can add that to your model. So again, I talked about electrical and mechanical, but of course, we also have many different domains over here. So of course, I'm not going to go over all of them because that would be too long, but you can simply scroll through these. And again, if you are not sure what something exactly does, you can go to the help menu. One more thing that you can do, and that I didn't mention before, is of course you can search for blocks over here. So for example, if I'm looking for a voltage source, for example, I could say voltage and just click this button for the search. And it's going to bring all the blocks that have some voltage related to them. Of course, voltage is just a general term, so it brought up many different blocks. So let's say that I want to do something more specific. I could say voltage sensor, for example, and click search. Now that brings the different voltage sensors. And here's the one that we talked about and that we looked at previously, but there's also some other blocks that are also voltage sensors, in this case for three-phase components. So again, you can do a search over here for a component that you're looking for. Let's say, for example, that I'm looking for blocks that are related to torque operations. And again, I can do a search for that, and that's going to bring many different blocks. All of them are related to torque and mechanical phenomena. Alright, so now that you know where to find blocks, we're going to move into actually building some models and doing some simulations.